हाय फ्रेंड्स, इमेजिन करिए आपने अपने सप्लायर को बिल का पूरा अमाउंट दे दिया इंक्लूडिंग जीएसटी। गुड्स या सर्विसेज डिलीवर हो गए, इनवॉइस आपके पास आ गया, आपने जीएसटी क्रेडिट क्लेम कर लिया और 6 महीने बाद जीएसटी ऑफिसर आपके पास आकर आपको बोलता है कि आपके सप्लायर ने तो गवर्नमेंट को टैक्स बिना जमा करे ही भाग गया और इसी के कारण अब आपको आपका जीएसटी अलोंग विथ इट इंटरेस्ट रिवर्स करना पड़ेगा। अनफेयर, राइट? बट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस एग्जैक्ट सिचुएशन पर अपना आखिरी स्टैंप लगा दिया है। हाय फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू फिस्कल फ्लेक्स। टुडे वी आर ब्रेकिंग डाउन द लैंडमार्क सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट ऑन सेक्शन 16(2)(c of the CGST Act. Today we will cover on what the law actually says, including the conditions attached with it. Why this fight went all the way back to the apex court, the exact crux of the Supreme Court judgment, and the mandatory conditions you as a businessman must take today so that you don't lose lakhs in credit reversal tomorrow. If you want to protect your business from more such tax landmines, hit that like button. So, first we will discuss what is section 16(2) of the GST Act. Section 16(2) has 4 conditions and it deals with the input tax credit. The first condition is you have to have a valid tax invoice or a debit note for claiming the ITC. Second is goods or services actually receive होने चाहिए. Third is tax charged by supplier must have actually been paid to the government treasury, whether through cash or through ITC. And the fourth condition is GST return, that is GSTR 3B फाइल होना चाहिए. नोटिस द ह्यूज कैच हियर. इसमें से एक कंडीशन आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है एंड दैट इज दैट द टैक्स चार्ज बाय सप्लायर मस्ट हैव एक्चुअली बीन पेड टू द गवर्नमेंट, यानी ये गवर्नमेंट ट्रेजरी में एक्चुअली सप्लायर ने डिपॉजिट करना चाहिए और यही असली बॉम्ब फटता है. सेक्शन 16(2)(c clearly states that the tax charged by the supplier must actually reach the government. मतलब सिंपल है, आपकी क्रेडिट एलिजिबिलिटी आपके कंप्लायंस पर तो है ही, लेकिन आपके सप्लायर की ऑनेस्टी पर भी डिपेंड करती है. इफ दे पॉकेट द टैक्स यू पेड देम एंड सडनली डिसअपियर, लॉ सेज you lose the credit. The second part is, now why did this fight reach all the way up to Supreme Court? Taxpayers across India were furious. Thousands of genuine buyers argued that हमने तो invoice पे कर दिया है सप्लायर को in good faith. We have the proof of payment. We have the invoice for the payment of good or supplier. And how can the department penalize a bona fide buyer for the default that is committed by a supplier? उन्होंने अलग अलग हाई कोर्ट्स में रिट पिटिशंस फाइल किए डिमांडिंग दैट सेक्शन 16(2)(c ऑफ द जीएसटी एक्ट बी डिक्लेयर्ड अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल और रेड डाउन टू प्रोटेक्ट द जेन्युइन बायर्स. द लीगल वर्ल्ड completely got divided. Gujarat High Court ruled in the favor of department, stating that ITC is a statutory concession and not an absolute right. Meanwhile, older precedents under state VAT laws like the Delhi High Court Arise India case had protected bona fide buyers. Conflicting interpretation and thousands of crore in pending notices meant that there was only one place left to go, and that was the apex court of India. So, now the crux of the Supreme Court ruling in case of Bhandari Scrap Traders versus Union of India. So, in the recent landmark judgment, the Supreme Court bench dismissed the taxpayers' appeal and completely upheld the Gujarat High Court's view. So, the 4-point crux of what the apex court actually held was that Section 16(2)(c is 100% constitutionally valid. The court refused to dilute or read down the provision. So, the court said that the statutory wording stands as it is written. Second is, ITC is not a fundamental right. The judgment reiterated that input tax credit is merely a statutory privilege or concession that is granted by the parliament. If you want or intend to take the benefit, you must strictly adhere to and satisfy all the 4 conditions, including tax realization by the state. Third is VAT era precedents don't apply here. The court rejected the argument that old VAT tax judgments applied to GST. GST is a seamless nationwide change of tax, making supplier compliance a core pillar of the framework. And fourth was the silver lining on the reavailment. The court noted that under Rule 37A and Section 41, if your supplier later deposits the defaulted tax, you are legally entitled to reavail the credit you previously reversed. Now, the bottom line of the Supreme Court verdict is clear. डिपार्टमेंट नॉन कंप्लाइंट सप्लायर्स के पीछे जाने से पहले बायर से आईटीसी रिवर्स करवाएगा. नाउ precautions you as a business must take today is that strict vendor screening. So before onboarding any new supplier, check their GST return filing track record on the GST portal so that you can avoid vendors with persistent filing delays. Second can be automate the GSTR 2B reconciliation. So reconcile your purchase register with GSTR 2B every single month. If an invoice isn't reflecting in GSTR 2B, do not claim the ITC in your GSTR 3B. Third is holding the GST payments. You can update your commercial terms for new or high risk vendors by adopting a policy of paying the tax component only after the invoice appears in GSTR 2B and the supplier files their GSTR 3B. Fourth can be drafting strong indemnity clauses. So you can insert strict legal indemnity clauses in your purchase orders. If a vendor defaults on GST, causing you an ITC interest penalty or so on, the agreement must allow you to recover that exact loss from their pending bills or deposit. Fifth can be to track Rule 37A timelines. If a supplier hasn't filed their GSTR 3B for a financial year by September 30th of the following year, then you must reverse the credit by November 30th to avoid the steep 18% interest penalties. You can also keep an audit trail to reclaim it when they comply with it. So, the takeaway is simple. In the world of GST, vendor compliance is now your responsibility. आपका इस सुप्रीम कोर्ट डिसीजन पर क्या कहना है? Is it fair to buyers or is it too harsh? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video.